everybody. My name is John DePietro.
And I'm Bob Zagami with the Camper Report Show.
And on this Camper Report Show, Bob, I am going to show you how you can open up an RV rental business without even owning your own RV.
Sounds interesting.
It is interesting.
And I have got the Bennetts, Julie and Mark, as they launched their worldwide media tour for the 10th anniversary of RV Love. And they came here first.
And all the news of the week, where do we get our news?
RV Business with Rick Kessler and Ben Quiggle at Woodall's Campground Magazine.
So those big stories plus all the news of the week right here. Where, Mr. Zagami?
On the Camper Report Show.
Stay with us, everyone. RV enthusiasts require specialized insurance and warranty solutions. RVerinsurance.com and Wholesale Warranties stand prepared to address the distinct health insurance, RV insurance, and RV warranty needs of every RVer. Renowned for its exceptional service in offering health insurance for RVers who often venture beyond their coverage zones, RVerinsurance.com has partnered with Wholesale Warranties to ensure a similar standard of expertise and attention when procuring an RV extended warranty for your new or pre-owned travel trailer, fifth wheel, or motorhome. So start securing your peace of mind today by visiting wholesalewarranties.com/RVer insurance or RVerinsurance.com. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Camper Report Show for the news segment. My name is John DePietro. The other gentleman is Bob Zagami. And Bob, there is some really good news coming out of the RV world today. And the first one is an expansion from our friends at, everything in the RV business is what do you have it when a letter means a word? NRVTA.
An acronym?
Yeah, that's the word. Yep. So our friends at NRVTA are EXPANDING with an acquisition. Talk about this acquisition, would you please?
You mean the RVSA acquisition?
Yeah, that one.
They acquired the Recreational Vehicle Service Academy down here in Florida. They've been here since 1986, and they've been kind of quiet and a sleeper, but they've had their own certification. They actually have a master certification course. And when Mike Tibbs, the owner, decided to sell, he was very comfortable selling it to NRVTA and Todd Henson and Terry Cooper and that gang. And through the acquisition process, NRVTA is going to protect all of the people that have that particular certification. They're going to allow them to join the RVTAA, which is the NRVTA's grouping of independent service technicians. They get about 1,500 listed now, and there's probably 4 times that in the country. But They're going to add 300 more from the RVSA school. And I suspect they'd probably close the facility and move everything right back
to location.
The schoolhouse in Athens. But it's
one location.
It's a very timely, but a very profitable acquisition for both of them, I'm sure.
And you talk about timely. Let's look at this. 4 years ago, during COVID, we had record numbers, actually 20 and 21 and 22, record number of RVs being sold, which now are starting to show some wear and are going to need repair. They might not need everything, but the fridge might not work on one, or there's a little leak in another, or the door or windows come loose. Okay. They're not going to take these, the owners are not going to take these back to the factory. And we already know about the delays in getting service at dealerships because they've got their existing customer base to deal with. And what better way to promote learning this trade than to show them that there's a ready-made market out there. So, people that are handy already can now take that handiness and turn it into some revenue. I think the timing has never been better for this type of promotion, and as well as RVTI, same thing.
Yeah, but another good thing about NRVTA is that not only do they teach them the technical aspect of it, but they teach them how to run their own business. Many of
Yep.
the people that go through there are retired military, retired people from other jobs, mechanics from other jobs, and they want to be an independent technician. So they don't just tell them, hey, you can make a good living, kick them out the door, and give them a certificate. They teach them small business practices, they teach them finances, they teach them how to set up a small business so that they're ready. They already have the technical stuff. And, we have several up here that we work with in New England, and they're so busy that, they can't come up for air. I
Right.
mean,
Well,
next
look,
10 years, no matter how many people graduate NRVTA or RVTI, they got a job.
they got a
They
job. And
raise their hand.
the interesting part, though, of having the job, especially for your own company, like you said, it's so important. And I have said this, we have a family friend who is a principal of a large Voc Tech school here in Massachusetts. I mean, 2,000 students, that's a big school.
Yeah.
Okay. And we said, in addition to teaching them carpentry skills and plumbing skills and beautician skills, that's no good unless you know how to run a business, unless you know how to call back a prospect, unless you know how to follow up on billing, unless you know how to follow up with a customer who calls you back because something isn't right. So the technical skills are great, but I hate to use the word soft skills, but the skills of how to run the business are just as important. And I'm so happy to hear you say that that's part of their curriculum.
Yep.
How's that for a $10 word? Curriculum.
That's above your average
Yep. Yep.
number of letters. Yeah.
It's better than saying that's what they're going to learn you if you go there. Okay. And speaking of people who've learned a lot and have paid the price for 10 years and are prolific marketers, our friends Mark and Julie Bennett are on their 10th anniversary world tour talking about some of their accomplishments during that time period.
Well, I said that they are starting here. That was a misnomer. They actually started on our other show last Wednesday night. We had them for an hour. That was the
Yep.
inaugural stop on the tour, and they've been doing a few other shows. They'll do more shows, but we got connected with Mark and Julie back when they just first started in this business down at the Tampa Super Show. I had dinner with them one night, and from there we've had a great relationship. They come on our show once or twice a year. But you mentioned marketing, and Julie is one of the smartest marketing people in this industry.
Yep.
She's created all their materials, all the collaterals. They've written two best-selling books, Living the RV Life, and RV Hacks. And they put together, we'll put
The link
URL.
down below.
Yes, yeah. And you know, they're actually my guest this week for the interview. And it's got to be almost 10 or 15 pages going over the 10 years. Not so much we went here and we did that, but things that they learned about the industry, resources, much like in some of their books. And they cover the whole 10 years. And they had five motorhomes. What they do? 5 motorhomes, 2 cars, plus a truck, and racked up more adventures than they can count.
Yep.
Uh,
But
they,
the important thing about them is that when we talk about these books, these are not pamphlets. These are not print at home books. I mean, these
no,
are, I think one of them is hardcover.
no,
you know,
they're both paper.
but they're big.
Heavy paper. The Living the RV Life is a great coffee table book
Yep.
because it's one of the best resource books we've had in the industry probably for the last 20 years. So it's one of those books that you can pick it up anywhere and read any chapter. It's not a novel. There's certain paragraphs, certain chapters on certain things. So
Yep.
you can just pick it up and you can continually go back and reference it.
Yep. And
So
the link will be down there. And
yep.
you know what? Take a look at their material because it's really good stuff and
And
other really good stuff.
they and their name is RV Love.
RV
So
Love.
RV Love is rvlove.com is the website, but yeah,
There we
Mark and
go.
Julie Bennett.
RV.
Actually, we always like to say Julie and Mark Bennett.
Yeah. And a couple other people that we've interviewed on several occasions made it to, they graduated from our show down to Fox Business.
Right.
And
Right.
you know, Monica Garassi, who's the chief spokesperson for the RV Industry Association, formerly RVIA. But now they've got a new name for the same. They got rid of the letters and put a name in. Okay, and John Ferrando from Blue Compass. You know, it's interesting. What they're talking about is RV sales have hit a sweet spot because you and I have said it over and over and over again. It's not fair to compare the following years after 20 and 21, the COVID years, when, you know, they were 4 and 5 times normal. So, you know, you always look at year-to-date figures, comparing it with the prior year, but you can't compare 24 to 22. You just can't. It was a whole new world that we're in then compared to now. But these folks are indicating that this is good and we are getting back to pre-COVID normal. So am I right? Do I summarize that pretty well?
It's a brilliant PR statement. I'll give them that. They do position it as best they can, given the market. And it is a sweet spot in the sense that it's going back to the 300,000 units a year, new unit sales a year. And we're talking 3.5 each year. So we expect a couple of years in that range. Everybody is hoping 25 will be a much better year, but even on the press conference, the release itself, they're counting on, you know, the things that they can't control to stabilize so that we will have an uptick at the end of 24 and a larger uptick in 25, things like the election cycle, inflation, and interest rates. If everything goes right in November and there's a change in administration, then that will happen. If November has, you know, disastrous results for business in general, and we don't change parties, then that's going to continue, you know, for the 300,000 level. Yep. I think if there's a change in administration in Washington in November, we will come out the gate like crazy in January. The consumer shows will be a blast. And the sales will start taking off right away in January and February, and we won't see the dip that we had in May this year, which was unusual. So, yeah, they had an interview, a paper interview with John Ferrando, and they also included a video interview with Bob Martin.
Martin as well.
So yeah, so Bob and John had to take a step down until they got to work a little bit.
Well, you know what? Look at those are multi-million, if not billion-dollar companies. And they taped the interviews. It looks like in their own. Well, no, Ferrando was in his office. I think Bob was at home or in Florida somewhere. But nevertheless,
he was over the other side of town.
Yeah, that side of town, exactly. So those are the stories that have made the news this week, and we hope that you will enjoy our 2 features right here. Where, Bob?
On the Camper Report Show.
Stay with us, everyone. Attention all RVers. Say goodbye to roof worries and hello to worry-free travel with RV Roof Magic. This revolutionary liquid butyl roof coating is specially formulated to protect your RV from the elements, to extend its lifespan and prevent leaks. With simple application and outstanding results, RV Roof Magic is the go-to choice for RV owners seeking superior roof protection. Don't let roof maintenance issues hold you back. RV Roof Magic is the only liquid butyl rubber in the world that offers a 1-coat, no primer coverage and a 10-year warranty. Visit rvroofmagic.com/RVLife and extend your roof another 18 to 20 years.
All right, welcome back to the Camper Report Show. And as you can see, because I'm sure you know who these two are, but it's Julie and Mark Bennett, the Bennetts, and RV Love. And we've had them on a lot of our shows through the years, but this is a special time, Julie, because it's your 10th anniversary.
10 years of RVing.
It is always special to come see you, Bob, though.
That's right. And we have so many anniversaries in our life, don't we? Like,
Yeah.
but we like to celebrate this one because the summer of 2014. Technically, it was June, but by the time we got our big monster blog post up and published, it was July. So it was some. We just say the summer of 2014. It's when we hit the road. Started off as full timers in this RV here, this Class A gas that some people might remember,
Yeah,
towing the
yeah,
little mini,
yeah.
and we've evolved over the years and had 5 RVs and been to all 50 states.
And how quickly the 10 years go by, because I met you pretty soon after you
Yeah,
launched and we're out there. We had dinner down in Florida, and
yeah.
it's developed
Need to
into
do that
a very,
again.
very nice relate. Yeah, it would be nice to do that again.
You need
Um,
to come to Colorado. This is where we are right now in our home base. So, that's the other thing for anyone that may not be familiar. We switched from full-time to part-time travel in 2020. And that's been great too.
It has been great because
Yeah.
we can speak to both from firsthand even better. So, like, because our big focus is trying to help other people make the road smoother for them and educate. So it's great to be able to have the firsthand experience
Yeah.
on both sides.
Only 1.5, I think it's like 1.5% of all RVers are full-timers.
yeah, it's
Do-
not
Is that an
much
accurate
when
stat?
you think of all the RVs that are on the road. So I asked you to put together kind of a list of 10 things that you remember
Yes.
about the 10th anniversary to give people a flair. So from where you started to where you are now, and then we'll recap at the end and see what
Okay.
the next 10 years are going to be looking like.
Yeah, we got it down to 10. I think we could probably do 20, but we only just limited on time. But
Go
well, the
ahead.
first one, and I think everyone would know, but this one, flexibility is key because the ability to adapt, you're always encountering unexpected situations, ever-changing environments as RVs. Nothing stays the same. You could be in a different location every week, and you just never know what you got to deal with, whether it's weather, unexpected weather, or mechanical issues, or
just being flexible and learning how different grocery stores are laid out because you're in a different grocery
Oh,
store every time you
that's a
go.
good point. That must be hectic.
It can be.
I think that's where if you find a chain that you go to regularly, and of course it changes when you go from state to state. But I think that's why maybe a lot of RVs like Walmart and Target, because wherever you go, you're always going to find them in the same location.
Close to it, yeah. But
Yeah.
they have the right personality for that too, to the point of flexibility. You can't get flustered every time something pops up that's not on your calendar.
Absolutely.
If you're a control freak that likes everything to go the way you want it to go all the time, you can either do one of two things, like maybe skip RVing, it may not be for you, or treat it as an exciting opportunity to maybe break that habit, because it will test you in ways that I just think it's a good opportunity to look at yourself and think, how am I showing up in this situation? And it's happening whether you like it or not. So whether you're going to get cranky or stressed about it, it doesn't actually help the situation.
Actually,
well, that's actually related to one of our other tips is that, preparation prevents problems, but is that if you're planning ahead, it's really can reduce a lot of the challenges you face, but don't overplan at the same time, because if you're too rigid in it, then it really throws a spanner in things. So plan your general direction, but with write it in pencil, not pen, I guess.
Right, because there are unexpected things that can come up, and not necessarily issues like weather or mechanicals, but what if you meet some people that tell you about some really cool place down the road that you had never heard of and you really want to go? And we've done that, haven't we? Or we've found that friends that we haven't seen for a long time, we're just nearby, so you want to spend time with them. So yeah, some friends of ours.
You've had a rough day and you want an adult beverage, and they say, there's a great bar down the street.
Exactly. But some, other RV friends of ours that have been doing this much longer than us, much longer than most of us, Chris and Cherie from Technomadia. We learned this from early on in 2015 when we met them out in the desert, very serendipitously. They said the most dangerous thing you can pack is a schedule. So it's like Mark said, it's good to plan.
You're just full of great lines. We'll have to
oh, mate, that's Chris. That's Chris Dumpy,
Hey, there's another project for you, Julie.
What's that?
A line of plaques or bumper stickers.
There you go.
Saying, and then RV Love, put your URL at the bottom.
I might just do that.
Yeah.
Watch it. I might just do
Well,
that, Bob.
you're a marketing genius. You can figure out
Something
piece
fun
of,
to do.
piece of wood
Why
or
not?
bumper sticker. What else you got?
Well, the next one is community is invaluable. And that, again, so many of them link because Chris and Sheree are part of our community now. We met them just out boondocking, and we've had situations where we've had a breakdown. I remember in Phoenix, I think in our first year in our Class A Tiffin, and we put it out on our Facebook group, and so many in our community piped up with, get offers of help, or do you need somewhere to stay, or let's all go to a brewery and have some beers, which is what we ended up doing actually. So, but I think that's one of the biggest fears for people hitting the road. It was one of my biggest concerns. Mark's was more concerned about bugs. Mine was, especially you there in Florida, Bob, you'd know all about that.
Yeah.
But mine was community and making friends and meeting people that you could have really meaningful conversations with, not just small talk all of the time. Small
Yep.
talk sometimes, but
that's actually one of the big surprises of the RV space is that the people, because when you meet someone, you inherently know that it's likely to be for a short period of time. You actually share more deeply of yourself than you do when you're in a normal neighborhood and trying to meet regular neighbors and have long-term things. And so you tend to act quicker and make faster friends, and things can.
You don't just say, "Hey, let's get together for happy hour and talk
You
about it for
do it.
6 months," and it never happens. You do it, or they could be gone tomorrow.
Yeah.
So that's a good one. But the shared knowledge too in the community, how much we all learn from each other on the road. That's huge. So I think, not only the support network and the friendship, but that sharing what we learn and tips and tricks and sharing stories around the campfire and, safety lessons.
Yeah, another one we'd want to talk to is the quality over quantity, which kind of leads back to the planning, is that don't plan to hit every single must-have list in a day at a time. Take a slower pace, immerse more deeply. That's one of the beauties of the RV lifestyle to me, is that you are more like a local. You get to experience things and have a deeper experience than you do when you have the faster paced travel of hotels and airfare, because you get to really get a feel for an area and have a higher quality experience than instead of just a lot of experience.
And we've also found by meeting some locals at some of these places, they will share little hidden gems and nuggets and places. Like when we were up in Maine, I remember they're like, "Oh, go to this beach. This is the really good beach that only the locals know about." So that's a really great tip too.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah.
Locals don't want to necessarily share all the good spots with the tourists, but if they feel like you're around there for a bit. What else we got?
You talk
Number
about
5.
community. You talk about community.
Yes.
Do you have people? You must have some people that you've met. You met them once, but then you try to get together with them every year because you enjoy their company and they're in the same lifestyle. So you build up another Rolodex of those friends that you want
100%.
to meet on the road.
We absolutely do that. And it's really fun that quite a few of our friends, we've met up with them in many states, like 5 and 6 states. So which is an extra fun experience that you can have as a full-time RVer that not everyone has.
And that's not necessarily planned. Sometimes, you're all off doing your own thing and traveling different parts of the country. But winter is a great time actually to reconnect with a lot of RVers, because most of us head south, and so you're more limited compared to in the summer. People are all around the country visiting friends and family, but winter's great for that.
But in the broader RV population, though, most people do go to similar areas in similar times, and so they could build a really great community at a campground that they go to every summer, or so that can be a great asset for the average RVer.
Yeah,
well, that's true. I used to see it when we had a seasonal park model site up in Maine, but each summer, somebody that isn't full-time and traveling, they would find their way back to that campground because they wanted to be on the salt marsh. So even though we were stationary in our destination trailer, they'd come every year and we'd get together a couple of times during the week that they were in the campground.
And park models are a very natural segue for a lot of RVers, that want to slow things down. And, I think for us, we've enjoying the slower pace now. And then when you consider the slower pace, it makes more sense to have a unit that's more suitable for a stationary environment, like a towable, as opposed to a motorhomes, which like to move. Or a park model in this case. But the next one, you can talk about this one, Mark, DIY skills.
The DIY skills save time and money, because if you when you're in a regular house, you have something go wrong, a repair technician may come to your house and it's fine. But when in an RV, you often have to vacate your home to have someone take care of it. And so if you can build some basic skills, it's estimated that 80% of issues with RVs can be done by the owner with a little bit of knowledge, some YouTube videos and talking to an expert, and
doing a home study course. I
doing
think,
home
Bob,
study
you
course,
mentioned
yeah.
it was Terry
Yep.
Cooper from the
Yep.
National RV Training
We
Academy
recommend that all the
that
time.
quoted him on that
Yeah.
80%. Yeah.
And you weren't doing that, well, you had some of those home type skills before you got to an RVing, but as you developed your RV expertise the last 10 years, you're the go-to guy for refurbishing on the
You
roof.
can
You're always
fix.
on the roof, you're always doing something, but you take the
Yeah.
time. And that's, I don't know if it's on one of your tips, we only got a couple of minutes left here, but
Yeah.
they have to do their research. Sometimes people don't do it. They buy an RV, they keep the books in a drawer, they never open them, they never read them. But you complemented the books by doing your own research and then tackling the project.
Yeah,
Right. Yeah.
yeah, you got to do it. Got to do it. And I know we're short on time,
So let's
we'll we'll be minimal and we'll embrace minimalism, which is one of our next tips, by speaking less, sponsoring yourself.
But
That
living in
doesn't-
an RV does teach you to prioritize what really matters, what's really important, what you really need. And typically most items in an RV has to have more than one purpose. Unless it's something you use all the time, like a toothbrush, obviously you use that every day, but unless you're using it for, unless you're using a lot, most items need to have multiple purposes. We don't have avocado scoops and ice cream scoops. We have a spoon.
You have spoon. But yeah,
Things
think
like
of
that.
how you pack if you pack for a day trip or a weekend trip or a month-long trip, you pack very differently. And so
Yeah.
just think all you really need for daily essentials. And
Yeah.
then and to your point you just made a minute ago, Bob, is to stay informed and educated.
Mhm.
Watch your shows, see what's happening in the RV industry, what's happening in learning and continuing
Your
your
own
learning. We've been
groups.
10 years and we continually learn and grow with our knowledge so that we can enjoy the experience even more.
But owners groups of your particular RV is a really great resource because they might share similar
That was so valuable for our country code.
Yes, very much so. And then, but also just be discerning around the sources of information, because as we've talked about before, sometimes you'll watch somebody's channel and don't always assume, even if somebody's been doing it longer than you, that it doesn't always mean that they're doing it right. And especially when it comes to
talk
safety.
quickly about the books, because we did just get the buzzer, but that's all right. I can.
Oh, we did?
It's my
But
show. I can run over if I want to, but talk quickly about the two books.
Oh, well, this was our first book that came out in 2018, Living the RV Life.
Just happen to have it on the desk.
I always have it out when we're doing a
We
podcast
always-
because I know somebody's going to want to ask about
Right.
it.
All right, we're gonna.
RV hacks. And that's, they're great resources for people that will live in the RV life, in particular for anyone that's thinking about doing extended travel or full timing. It'll walk you through and help you understand, is it even for you? And if it's not, then you've saved yourself a lot of money by not buying one, but hopefully it'll educate you
by the book.
Yeah.
So
And then the RV hacks is for everyone to just pick up some handy.
We'll put your URL up. We'll put the information on where to get the book, and I will post the link to your 10-year anniversary blog, which is one of the most complete that I've ever seen from anybody, but it's out there now. But we'll put a link to that also, because that gives them a good capsulation of everything you did the last 10 years. So
And that post isn't specifically about our adventures so much as observing what's happened in the entire industry, the changes, the trends, the technologies, camping, RVs, and what's happening in the road ahead and what we're seeing. So
it's another resource for them.
Another resource. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, last question. What are you going to do the next 10 years?
The next 10 years, we don't know. You should have an answer to that already. Yeah. But it's one thing I learned writing that big blog post, the 10-year post, is realizing how many organizations, platforms, people have big changes around the 10-year mark, which is very validating, because now I'm just going, what is happening? And we don't want to keep just doing what we're doing just for the sake of doing it. It's now taking a big step back and looking at the big picture and saying, what value can we continue to add in a way that is a fit for us and what we can share, but also will serve the community? That's really what it comes down to. And embracing the technologies available now. I think that's a big one. Technology's changed so much. So how do we do it?
We have similar qualities. We're all passionate about the RV industry and the RV lifestyle, but we all talk too much too. So Julie and Mark Bennett, RV Love, 10 years on the road, and I can't wait to see what you do in the next 10 years. Thanks for taking time for us today.
Thanks,
Thank
Bob.
you,
Thanks,
Bob.
everyone.
Yeah.
Bye.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Camper Report Show. My name is John DePietro. And, one of the coolest parts about being in the RV lifestyle, whether you're an RV owner, whether you sell RVs, whether you rent RVs, or whether you just want to go RVing, there's certainly something for you. And today, our show is no exception, and we have a very interesting guest. His name is Gar Russell, and he is the founder, and here's a new title, Chief Fire Starter of Fireside RV Rental. Garth, welcome to Gar, not Garth, right? Gar, Garr. Welcome to the Camp Report Show.
Hey, John, thanks for having me.
So, in 30 seconds, tell us what Fireside RV Rental is and how our audience can take advantage of the business opportunity to, generate some revenue for their family and for their RV, which many times will sit unused, 11 out of 12 months of the year. Tell us a little bit.
Yeah. So basically what we are is we're a property management company. So just like you would hire somebody to manage your real estate for you or your Airbnb or even now your car, people are renting out. That's what we offer for RVs is people give us possession of their RVs when they're not using them. We rent them out on their behalf. They get a paycheck.
Just like that. Just like that. Yep. And, with the popularity in RVing in the last at least 4 years through COVID, so many new people are entering the RV lifestyle. And as far as yourself is concerned and your family is concerned, were you RVers before you got into the business part of it? Give us your background.
Yeah, I was. That's actually kind of how the business started. One of my sayings that I love is God takes our pain and turns it into purpose. And I had bought my wife an RV for our 10-year wedding anniversary. I thought I was the best husband ever. Beautiful brand new RV. And she hated it. And there's a little bit more to it than that. She really didn't hate it. She was pregnant with number 4 and chasing our toddler around, and she was just miserable. We were in Michigan, hot summer, and she went home day number 1 of our 7-day camping trip. And I thought, oh man, I've got this RV, and I started renting it. That led us to here we are today with almost 40 locations around the nation.
Okay. So the interesting part about your business, Gar, is that you don't own branches in 40 different parts of the country, but yet you help out people who own RVs that or want to be in the RV rental business, but don't even own an RV themselves. Now, the question that must come up most of the times when you're discussing your business opportunities, how can you have an RV rental business when you don't own a single RV? That's the secret sauce that you have, right?
Yeah, that's the model that God showed us. I call it OPRV, other people's RVs.
Yep.
And there's really no reason to have all the overhead of owning a fleet of RVs and the payments and the insurance and the repairs and the title tag and license, all that stuff that goes with it. When there's over 11 million RVs around the country, most of them sitting around idle most of the time. And that's the business model.
Okay. So I'm interested in generating revenue for my RV. Okay. Actually, no, let's not go there yet. I'm interested in the business opportunity. I check your place out. What is my next step after I go to your website? What do we do?
So
How do
what
I rent
happens
out
is,
RVs if I don't own one?
yeah, so what will happen is you register for our webinar or you attend one of our free trainings, and then we have a real in-depth teaching on exactly how the whole business model works. So we teach you all about the business model, how it works, and really a lot of what that video about too, it's about learning, about the company, about Fireside, about me, about what we call fire starters. My title, like you said, Chief Fire Starter.
Yeah.
That's what we call ourselves here, the Fireside Tribe. We call ourselves fire starters. So we talk about, who we are, our beliefs, our values, and just the community of people that is doing this together. And if that resonates with you, then we have you fill out a franchise application, and we kind of start walking through the process of what it would be launching a Fireside in your neck of the woods.
Okay. So then do I have to go out and buy myself 10 or 15 RVs?
No, we walk you through what's called the Fireside Fast Track Framework. So we've got this onboarding process, and that's a cool thing about, so we are a franchise opportunity. And that's the beauty of the franchise opportunity, really. It's a proven model that you're plugging into, just like McDonald's and Subway and all the other franchise opportunities out there. You're literally plugging into a proven system.
Yeah.
And we're telling you step by step what to do. We're coaching and guiding. You have the community, and we're showing you how to get in front of RV owners and how to get them signed up for the management program, and everything from setting up your LLC to maintaining the RVs if you choose that to be part of your business model as far as maintaining the RVs.
Okay. So basically, Gar, what I'm going to then do is go out and find others that have the RVs that are sitting around, 9 or 10 months of the year, and say, hey, you want to turn that payment into a receivable,
Paycheck.
that type of thing. So as far as fees are concerned, whenever people look at a business opportunity, there's always some type of revenue sharing and enhancement aspect of it. How does your program work? What is it going to cost the new business owner to be involved with you, sir?
Yeah. So as far as the overhead of the business, that's very low. Our royalty fee that we charge is 10% royalty of gross sales. And then our franchise startup fee is typically $50,000. We do offer a discount if you do a pay in full, or we also have in-house financing that we offer as well. And then, if it's the right person in the right area where we're really motivated to launch to, I don't ever let money be the barrier of entry per se. It's all about the right people and the right partnerships.
The right deal, the right opportunity with the right people. Now, as far as geographic advantages or disadvantages are concerned, where is there a best place to be?
Yeah, so one of the steps of what we call our franchise discovery process is we do a market research report. And it's really pretty simple. What we're going to do is we're going to look within a 25-mile radius of you. We're going to see, okay, how many RV storage facilities are there? How many campgrounds are there? How many state parks are there? How many RV dealerships are there? We're basically going to look to see what's happening in regards to RVs, in that area. And that gives us a pretty good feeler for, is this going to be a successful location for Fireside?
Okay. How long has the company been in business, and how many different, what's the word I'm trying to say? Franchisee is kind of a crazy word, but how many different locations are there for you now?
Yeah, we've been in business since 2016, and we have 38 locations currently
around the United States, and growing.
Yes, sir.
Growing monthly.
Oh yeah, 38 and growing. Yep. And then for this industry, as far as RV rentals, the big platform that most people go on is called RVshare.com.
Yep.
That's kind of like the Airbnb of this industry.
Mm-hmm.
We work very closely with them because, again, we're a management company. They're a lead generation company for rentals. So we're their number one customer. We work real closely with them as well.
Okay. So is there a target person that you're looking for, age-wise, demographic-wise, married, single? Can you do it as a couple? Will you beat each other up because you're working together as well as being married to each other?
Well, you probably know about that with RVing. We get a lot of RVs from married couples. They're like, man, we went on a trip and we'd like to stay married. So here, take the RV and rent it out. But, we have quite a plethora. A lot of married couples, a lot of husband-wife teams, a lot of my successful franchises, and I just realized this several months ago when I was doing another interview, are females that they started it, then the husband kind of came along and joined. Several of the locations, the husband has actually left his job Now he's doing RV repair services and working with his wife. I've got people who still have full-time jobs. I got Kim in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. He's still full-time as a prison guard and running his Fireside franchise. And yeah, all different makes and models, I guess you could say, of people. And then as you'll see in a lot of our marketing and our training video and stuff like that, my specific calling that I have is to serve Christian entrepreneurs. So that's in a lot of our marketing because that's integrated in everything that we do. You know, we run our business based off biblical principles, and we like people to know that right off the bat. And so, you know, those are yeah, the people
Guiding rights. Okay.
that we work with. Yeah.
Website, firesidervrental.com.
Yeah, you can go to firesidervrental.com and see all of our locations and inventory. And if you click in the upper right, there's a box where you can learn about the franchise. We got a new chat bot that's going live here next week.
Great.
You can literally speak to it through voice and it will respond to you through voice. I'm excited about that. So
Perfect. Hey, we want to thank you so much for taking time from your busy day to tell us about Fireside RV Rental. Take a look, folks. It might be something that you have an interest in. And if you do, then make sure you tell Gar that you heard about it on the Camper Report Show. Have a great day, everybody.